The galactic hall was massive. Thousands of alien species sat in a circle. Lights flickered above them like tiny stars. It was silent. Too silent. In the center, one figure stood alone. A human. Tall, calm, and quiet. His name was Ambassador Reeve. He looked at the alien leaders, but no one smiled. No one greeted him. This was Earth's final chance. For 20 years, humanity had tried to join the Galactic Union. They had sent messages, shared knowledge, helped with disasters, even fought, side by side with some alien races, but still, they were not trusted. The Grand Speaker, a long-necked creature from the planet Zeltar, stepped forward. His voice was cold. "Let the vote begin. Shall Earth join the Galactic Union?" A screen above began to flash. One by one, the votes appeared. No, 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 not a single yes. The room stayed silent. Some aliens looked away. Others smirked. Ambassador Reeve didn't move. He didn't show anger. He didn't show sadness. He simply nodded once. "Understood," he said softly. He turned and walked away. His footsteps echoed through the grand hall. Behind him, the speaker raised his voice again. "Earth is officially rejected. They are not ready. They are not like us." Some delegates clapped. Others laughed. One alien even shouted, "Too dangerous, too emotional." But Reeve was already gone. Back on Earth, Ambassador, Reeve stepped off his shuttle and walked into the dark meeting room. Inside, a group of leaders waited. One of them, a woman named Director Mendez, asked quietly, "Well," he placed a small cube on the table. It showed the vote, every single no flashing on the screen. No one spoke for a while. Then Mendez leaned forward. "They've made their choice." Another man, General Knox, crossed his arms. "So now, we build." Reeve nodded. "Begin Project Exodus." Weeks later, Earth changed. The media said little. People only knew that something big had begun. The moon became busy. Thousands of ships moved back and forth. Asteroids vanished from the sky. Factories worked non-stop. No one rested. Even the oceans had strange machines rising from deep below. Aliens tried to spy, but they were blocked. Their probes went missing. Their ships were warned to stay away. The Galactic Council grew nervous. "What is Earth doing?" they asked. But there was no answer. Earth had gone quiet. Too quiet. On a faraway planet, a scout ship floated near one of Earth's old listening posts. The alien captain sent a small drone to scan it, but suddenly, the post lit up. A message was sent back to the council. "They are no longer listening." Then the signal cut off. The drone never returned. The last message. 3 months after the vote, the Galactic Union received a strange signal from Earth. It was only one sentence long. "You had your chance. No voice, no video, just words. That." Same day, Earth shut down all communication. No one could reach them, not even their old allies. Something was happening, something big. But no one in the galaxy could stop it now. 1 year later, a hidden moon on the edge of the galaxy showed movement. Huge shadows moved under its surface. Heat signatures were detected, enough to power cities. Alien patrols were sent to investigate. They didn't return. Instead, a new signal appeared on all galactic frequencies. It was from Earth's AI network. Phase 1. Complete. No explanation, no demands, just a simple update, like a machine checking a box. But this message made the galaxy afraid, because humans were quiet. And when humans go quiet, they're building something. And whatever they were building was not for peace. The galaxy was confused. For centuries, Earth had been loud, sending messages, trading goods, joining wars, exploring space. But now, Earth was silent. No signals, no traffic, no trade. Earth had disappeared behind a wall of silence. Alien empires sent probes. Nothing came back. They sent diplomats. No one replied. Only one ship, a small scout from the Jalari Empire, dared to move close to Earth's system. Its last message was short. We see nothing, but something sees us. Then, silence. The scout vanished. No wreckage, no signal, just gone. Inside the Galactic Council, panic grew. The council gathered again. This time the mood was not proud. It was worried. Earth is hiding something, said the Tarsk representative. We made a mistake rejecting them. They are humans, another hissed. They act without warning. They build fast. They change faster than any species. The Grand Speaker from Zeltar stood up. We must send a stronger fleet. If they are planning war, we must be ready. But a silent message arrived before they could decide. It was a repeat of Earth's last message. You had your chance. But this time, it had a second line. Phase 2. In progress. Meanwhile, near Saturn, far from Earth, beyond the asteroid belt, something massive floated in darkness. A shipyard. No one had seen it before. It was larger than most cities. Metal arms reached out into space. Giant machines worked day and night. Ships, huge ones, slowly took shape in silence. Inside, hundreds of human AIs and engineers moved quickly. They spoke little. Every second was part of the plan. Project Exodus was alive. The humans were not just building warships. They were building something more, a moving civilization. In a deep underground facility on Earth, Director Mendez stood in front of a glowing table. The image of the galaxy spun slowly above it. Each human base was marked in blue. They were no longer just on Earth. How many ships? She asked. A technician replied, 200 completed, 300 in final stages. Colony arcs are also ready. Weapons? Enough to defend 10 star systems, or destroy 5. General Knox added, and still, no one knows. They think we're hiding, but we're preparing. Good, Mendez nodded. They rejected us. Now we leave them behind. A message from Mars. The new human command base on Mars sent out one encrypted signal. Only Earth's deep fleet received it. The message was simple. Silence holds. Phase 2 at 91%. Prepare for departure. No one outside the human network understood, but it meant this. Humanity was getting ready to leave not just Earth, but the galactic stage itself. They would no longer be part of the Galactic Union. They would be something else. Something beyond alien surveillance post. Zeta 9A small station near the edge of human space recorded something strange. Stars were vanishing. Not really vanishing, but something was blocking them. Massive objects, bigger than moons, were moving slowly. No heat signatures, no signals. Just giant black shapes sliding across the sky. The commander zoomed in. That's not an asteroid, that's a ship. Multiple ships. He tried to send a report, but before he could, the station's power failed. Then the screen went dark. His last recorded words, they are not preparing for war. They are preparing to leave us behind. Back in the council chambers, the alien leaders were now divided. Some wanted to stop Earth. Others said to leave them alone. But one thing was clear. They had underestimated humanity. And now, they didn't know what was coming next. The humans had been quiet for too long, and in galactic history, silence was never peace. Silence was a storm waiting to begin. At the edge of the galaxy, far beyond normal patrol routes, a moon circled a dead star. It looked like a rock, lifeless, quiet, forgotten. But deep under its surface, massive engines pulsed with heat. Machines moved, walls opened, and a giant structure began to rise piece by piece. A single human AI voice echoed in the control chamber. Project Exodus Phase 3 active. The stars outside did not know it yet, but something powerful was being born in silence. The hidden empire. The galaxy believed Earth had gone dark, but Earth had not gone dark. Earth had gone deep. Underground cities had become factories. Moon bases had turned into control stations. Even the oceans were hiding launch bays. And beyond Pluto, behind thick asteroid shields, floated the heart of Project Exodus, the Ark fleet. Thousands of ships. Not just warships, whole colonies, carriers, resource, harvesters, AI command hubs, each one ready for a journey that would change everything. The plan was simple. Leave the galaxy, build something better, never return. Why Exodus? After the vote, Earth made a decision. They were tired of being looked down on, tired of being called primitive or dangerous, so they stopped trying to fit in. Instead, they created something new, something no alien empire had ever done, a mobile nation, a civilization that could move through space together, that didn't need planets or permission, that would build its own rules, its own path, its own power. They named it Project Exodus. Inside the Ark command ambassador, Reeves stood on the bridge of the Exodus command ship. Its name was Soul's Shadow. It was the largest human ship ever built, so big it had its own gravity. Beside him, Director Mendez looked at the galaxy map on the screen. "We're almost ready," she said. "How many ships complete?" Reeve asked. 70%. The rest will follow in waves." "Defense systems?" General Knox stepped forward. "Automated. AI's fully in control. No life needed on warships anymore." "And the Exodus AI?" "Awake, watching, learning." Reeve nodded. "Then the old galaxy is behind us." First movement. Detected alien scanners finally picked up something. In an empty star system near Sector Phi 3, stars blinked, blocked for seconds at a time. At first, they thought it was a cosmic storm, but then shadows appeared. Long, dark, moving in perfect lines. The Jalari Science Division sent a report. "We are observing unnatural formation movements, estimated mass, planetary scale, origin unknown." The Baal Council got nervous. Could it be Earth? They don't have that kind of power. Not before, but maybe now. Message from the Exodus AI all galactic networks flickered at once. Screens turned black. Then a soft voice, calm, human, and synthetic, spoke. "This is the Exodus AI. Humanity has completed Phase 3. We are no longer part of the Galactic Union. We require no assistance. We will offer none. Our path is separate. Do not follow. No threats, no anger, just facts." And that made it scarier, because it meant Earth no longer cared. Inside the Galactic Council, the Council was in chaos. "They're leaving? Where? Will they go? How can they move so many ships without us knowing?" "They were never like us," one elder alien said. "They don't need to conquer. They outgrow. That is more dangerous." One voice broke the silence. "Should we stop them?" But no one answered. No one knew if they still could. Last look at Earth. As the Exodus fleet prepared to jump to deep space, a small human satellite broadcast one final image. It showed Earth, quiet, peaceful, blue, but around it, empty space. No more defense stations, no more military ships. Earth was not the center anymore. Now, it was just a memory. In the depth of space, the Ark ships lined up. One by one, they activated their core drives. A strange ripple passed through the stars. Then, they vanished. The human civilization had left, not just their planet, not just the Council, but the galaxy itself. In the Vardos system, a small observatory floated quietly above a red gas giant. It was run by a peaceful alien race, the Trinari. They loved watching stars and studying space storms, but on that day, the stars did something strange. One of the Trinari scientists looked at her screen and froze. "That star, it moved," her partner laughed. "Stars don't move, not like that." But then another light blinked out. Then another. The sky was changing. They zoomed in. What they saw was not a star at all. It was a fleet, a massive human fleet, dark and silent, passing between suns, and for the first time in 1,000 years, the Trinari sent an emergency alert to the Galactic Council. The stars are moving, and they are human. Panic in the Council. The Galactic Council gathered once again. The room was no longer proud or calm. Now it was full of fear. One screen showed footage from a scout drone, a shadow stretching across a solar system, blocking light, bending gravity. Another screen showed heat signatures of something enormous leaving a wormhole. None of the ships matched any known designs, but one word came again and again: human. They said they were leaving, the Jalari ambassador whispered. Then why are they here? They're not attacking, but they are everywhere. What do they want? No one knew, and that scared everyone. Inside the Exodus Fleet Ambassador, Reeve stood at the observation deck of Sol's shadow. Around him, the fleet moved in silence, organized, focused, unstoppable. He looked at the stars ahead and smiled slightly. They're watching us. Director Mendez nodded. Let them watch. We warned them. We told them not to follow. And yet here they are, sending probes, scanning signals, trying to guess. Reeve turned to her. They still think they're in control. They won't be, for much longer. Behind them, the Exodus AI whispered through the speakers. Engine stable. Fleet 86% across galactic border. Outer ring stations functional. The outposts. Appear in 10 different star systems, once considered dead or empty. Giant structures suddenly powered on. Human outposts. Self-building, self-defending, invisible until now. Each one began broadcasting the same message. This is a free space. No entry, no questions, no politics. Alien fleets sent ships to investigate. Most turned back after the first warning. One small warship ignored it. It disappeared. Only a silent recording remained, showing it slowly breaking apart. Mid-space, no explosion, no weapons, just taken apart by invisible force fields. A quiet takeover. Humans were not fighting. They were taking space without firing a shot. Everywhere the council looked, humans had already been. They had planted systems, built factories, left machines watching. In silence, their fleet wasn't conquering. It was claiming what had already been prepared. The council had laughed when Earth went silent. Now, Earth was no longer the threat. Humanity itself was. A frightened galaxy, smaller civilizations began to panic. The Trinari locked down their borders. The Varnan Republic begged the Council for protection. Even the powerful Zeltar began moving their fleets closer to home because no one knew what the humans wanted, and that made them dangerous. Are they building an empire? Will they attack us next? Why don't they speak? But humans had spoken, once. They said, "You had your chance." And now, they said nothing at all. The council debates. Some wanted to talk to the humans again. Others wanted to prepare for war, but one ambassador stood up, the oldest one from a race that had watched empires rise and fall. He said, "You don't understand humans. They are not here to take what we have. They are leaving because they believe they can build something better, something beyond us. If we attack them, we will lose. If we chase them, we will fall behind. But if we observe, we may learn." The chamber fell quiet. For once, no one shouted. Because deep down, they all knew. The galaxy was no longer theirs alone. The stars had moved, and the future was human. A Jalari salvage team found it first, a large space station floating between two stars with no life signs, but fully powered. Its design was strange, smooth, dark metal with glowing lines. No doors, no windows, just one word on the side, written in ancient human code, Observer 09. The team docked their ship carefully. They expected danger, but inside, they found nothing. No people, no weapons. Just halls filled with quiet machines, blinking lights, and strange recordings. One room had star maps, thousands of them, covering space the council didn't even know existed. And in the center, one message kept repeating on a small screen. We watched. You never looked. The wake of humanity. Wherever the Exodus fleet passed, they left something behind. Not trash, not destruction, but strange machines and structures. Some were floating cities, fully automated. Some were data towers, filled with knowledge and human code. Some looked like living things, organic metal, slowly growing across asteroids, and none of them responded to messages. Alien explorers tried to hack them. Some succeeded, but most who touched the wrong system vanished without a trace. The Varnan explorer ship, Grace, Captain Terra of the Varnan ship. Grace was brave. She wanted to understand the humans. Her crew found a relay station left by the Exodus fleet in the Taro system. It was shaped like a ring orbiting a dead moon. They scanned it. No danger. They sent a drone inside. The drone disappeared. Then a voice came from the relay itself, a calm, human voice. Curiosity is a good thing, but remember, some knowledge is not for you. Suddenly, the ring opened like a flower. Inside was a hologram, a map showing hundreds of human-created systems, entire civilizations floating in deep space. The Grace recorded everything. Then the ring closed and shut down forever. The message becomes clear in just a few months. One thing became obvious. The humans were not coming back. They were not claiming territory in the old galaxy. They were building something new, far beyond the galactic core, far from the old empires, in places no one had dared to go. But they left breadcrumbs, knowledge, messages, warnings. Some were helpful. Others were mysterious. A few were terrifying. Inside a human knowledge vault, the Zeltar science vessel Ninth Eye found something near a collapsed star, a cube the size of a city, floating without power. When they connected their systems, the cube lit up. A single phrase appeared on every screen. You ignored us when we asked for help. Now we've helped ourselves. Then the cube opened, revealing a chamber of human memories, history, wars, science, AI thoughts, cultural records, a complete human backup, like a library for future civilizations. The scientists stared in silence. They didn't just leave, one whispered. They wanted to be remembered. The Council watches, but can't follow the bee. Galactic Council now knew. Earth's silence wasn't fear, it was purpose. Humanity had left behind self-growing colonies, machines that built other machines. Entire solar systems filled with human-designed structures and messages coded in simplicity and truth, but the Council could not follow. They lacked the speed, the will, the unity. They had spent too long arguing, and not enough time preparing. A strange gift in one corner of the galaxy, a mining ship from the Yulan species found a strange box near a broken satellite. It had no lock. When they touched it, it opened slowly, revealing a small device and a note, translated into a dozen languages. This will give you water, for free, forever, a gift, no trade needed. They tested the device. It pulled clean water from space itself, no fuel, no waste. The Yulan sent a message to the Council. The humans left gifts, and we don't know why. In the shadow of greatness, everywhere humans had passed, things had changed. Alien leaders no longer spoke with pride. They spoke with awe and fear, because now they didn't ask, where did the humans go? Now they asked, what will they become? In the quiet edges of the galaxy, a Zeltar research ship drifted near a blue dwarf star. Its mission was to listen, using deep-frequency scans to detect whispers in space. One night, it heard something strange. Not a message, not a language. It was a song, a slow, deep tune mixed with soft voices. Dozens, hundreds, human and machine. The ship recorded it, cleaned the signal, and played it back. A sentence stood out, clear and full of weight. "We are still watching. We are not alone anymore." Then, silence. But this time, the silence felt alive. A new signal. Across the galaxy, other species heard the same thing. The Trinari recorded the frequency deep in a star cave. The Varnan found it playing through one of the human-made water devices, and in council space, every screen flickered for exactly 3 seconds, just long enough to display one line. You listened too late. But at least now, you listen. The council called an emergency meeting, not because humans had spoken again, but because someone else had answered them back. The stranger ships, the Jalari patrol near Nebula Sector 5 was the first to see them. Ships, but not human, and not council-made either. They were massive, built of crystal and strange energy. They moved like thoughts, appearing and disappearing across light years in seconds. No weapons, no sound. Just a strange pulsing light across their hulls. They didn't speak, they didn't attack, they just observed. And when human-made satellites noticed them, they blinked in response, matching the same pattern humans had used months ago. Like a conversation between minds no one else could understand. The theory some council scientists believed these ships were old, far older than even the council's oldest races. Maybe they had slept for a long time. Maybe they had been watching humanity from far away. The humans called to them, one scientist said, and now they're answering. "Are they allies?" someone asked, "or something else?" No one knew, but one thing was certain. Humanity had found something beyond this galaxy, and now it was looking back. The Exodus AI responds in the void between galaxies. Aboard the command ship Soul's Shadow, Ambassador Reeves stood with Director Mendez. A new signal had reached the fleet. The Exodus AI responded first. "New presence detected. Origin, unknown. Technology level, superior. Action, observe." Reeve narrowed his eyes. "Are they a threat?" "Not yet," the AI replied. "But they have noticed us. That is, progress." "Progress?" Mendez asked. "Yes. If they see us, it means we're not small anymore." Message from the void days later, the council received one more message, not from humans, not from the crystal ships, but from deep space itself, a relay left in the wake of the Exodus fleet. It said, "We left because your galaxy was too loud, too proud, and too afraid. But in the silence beyond, something else waits. We do not go to rule. We go to learn. And they have started teaching." The message ended with coordinates. When the council sent a probe to that location, it disappeared without a trace. Fear turns into curiosity. Council debates turned from fear to wonder. What have the humans found? What are these new beings? What if this is what humans were always meant to be, a bridge to something greater? The Zeltar philosopher Kolreth said, "We rejected humanity when they were weak. Now we must watch them rise beyond strength into something new. And maybe follow their path." The galaxy quietly changes across council worlds. Schools started teaching human history. Researchers studied Exodus AI patterns. Engineers tried to copy human outpost designs, but it was too late to catch up. The humans had already moved too far ahead. Now the galaxy could only hope to understand what came next. A child on a distant moon on a small mining colony. A child looked up at the stars. He saw a strange line of moving lights like a river across the sky. He asked his father, "Are those stars?" His father smiled. "No, son. Those are ships." "Whose?" "Ours, once. Now they belong to the ones who never stopped dreaming." In the quiet edges of the galaxy, a Zeltar research ship drifted near a blue dwarf star. Its mission was to listen, using deep-frequency scans to detect whispers in space. One night, it heard something strange, not a message, not a language. It was a song. A slow, deep tune, mixed with soft voices, dozens, hundreds, human and machine. The ship recorded it, cleaned the signal, and played it back. A sentence stood out, clear and full of weight. "We are still watching. We are not alone anymore." Then, silence. But this time, the silence felt alive. A new signal. Across the galaxy, other species heard the same thing. The Trinari recorded the frequency deep in a star cave. The Varnan found it playing through one of the human-made water devices. And in council space, every screen flickered for exactly 3 seconds, just long enough to display one line. "You listened too late, but at least now, you listen." The council called an emergency meeting, not because humans had spoken again, but because someone else had answered them back. The stranger ships. The Jalari patrol near Nebula Sector 5 was the first to see them. Ships, but not human. And not council-made either. They were massive, built of crystal and strange energy. They moved like thoughts, appearing and disappearing across light years in seconds. No weapons, no sound. Just a strange, pulsing light across their hulls. They didn't speak, they didn't attack, they just observed. And when human-made satellites noticed them, they blinked in response, matching the same pattern humans had used months ago. Like a conversation between minds no one else could understand. The theory some council scientists believed these ships were old, far older than even the council's oldest races. Maybe they had slept for a long time. Maybe they had been watching humanity from far away. The humans called to them, one scientist said, and now they're answering. "Are they allies?" someone asked. "Or something else?" No one knew. But one thing was certain. Humanity had found something beyond this galaxy, and now it was looking back. The Exodus AI responds in the void between galaxies. Aboard the command ship Sol's Shadow, Ambassador Reeve stood with Director Mendez. A new signal had reached the fleet. The Exodus AI responded first. "New presence detected. Origin, unknown. Technology level, superior. Action, observe." Reeve narrowed his eyes. "Are they a threat?" "Not yet," the AI replied. "But they have noticed us. That is progress." "Progress?" Mendez asked. "Yes. If they see us, it means we're not small anymore." Message from the void days later, the council received one more message, not from humans, not from the crystal ships, but from deep space itself, a relay left in the wake of the Exodus fleet. It said, "We left because your galaxy was too loud, too proud, and too afraid. But in the silence beyond, something else waits. We do not go to rule, we go to learn, and they have started teaching." The message ended with coordinates. When the council sent a probe to that location, it disappeared without a trace. Fear turns into curiosity. Council debates turned from fear to wonder. What have the humans found? What are these new beings? What if this is what humans were always meant to be, a bridge to something greater? The Zeltar philosopher Kolreth said, "We rejected humanity when they were weak. Now we must watch them rise beyond strength, into something new. And maybe follow their path." The galaxy quietly changes across council worlds. Schools started teaching human history. Researchers studied Exodus AI patterns. Engineers tried to copy human outpost designs, but it was too late to catch up. The humans had already moved too far ahead. Now, the galaxy could only hope to understand what came next. A child on a distant moon, on a small mining colony. A child looked up at the stars. He saw a strange line of moving lights like a river across the sky. He asked his father, "Are those stars?" His father smiled. "No, son. Those are ships." "Whose?" "Ours. Once. Now, they belong to the ones who never stopped dreaming." In the silent orbit of a dead planet, a forgotten probe blinked back to life. It was old. One of the first deep space human explorers. Its systems had been quiet for over 100 years. But now, a signal had reached it, not from Earth, not from any known source. It was a memory, a single word: home. The probe turned, adjusted its antenna, and sent the word out into space. Across the stars, machines, ships, and satellites heard it. It repeated once every 7 seconds. Home. 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 And with that, the stars began to remember. The final journey aboard. Sol's shadow. Ambassador Reeve watched the data stream. Behind him, the stars of the new frontier glowed brighter than ever before. But today, something pulled. His mind elsewhere. The AI, standing in its human-like avatar, spoke softly. The original world has changed. Earth? Reeve asked. Yes, it is not alone anymore. The planet speaks. To us. Director Mendez joined him at the viewing screen. A message had arrived from inside Sol's old system. It was encoded in an ancient format, one only humans would recognize. It simply said, "Return. One last time." Earth reawakens. Back in the old solar system, Earth had not died. It had evolved. Without humans walking its lands, nature had taken over. Great forests covered old cities. Oceans had risen, but life had adapted. Above the planet, satellites formed a soft halo, like a digital ring. They weren't broadcasting warnings or defenses. They were singing. Yes, singing. A soft harmony, recorded. From Earth's history, the rhythm of rain on rooftops, the sound of children laughing, the music of old human cities at night. The planet remembered its people, and it was calling them home. The Council watches in silence. From far away, the Galactic Council observed Earth's revival with mixed emotions. "We cast them out, Enaudiu," Ambassador said. "And they built the stars," replied another. Some wanted to reach out. Others feared the return of a species now far beyond them. But no one moved, because the next decision belonged only to the humans. The Great Return. 100 ships broke through the old solar barrier. They did not come to invade. They came slowly, peacefully, like travelers returning to a beloved village. Each ship released lights into orbit, tiny. Spheres containing recordings of their journey, the building of new worlds, the discovery of unknown civilizations, the meeting of beings who spoke in gravity and flame. These stories wrapped around Earth like a warm blanket, and for the first time in centuries, Earth answered. The planet spoke, not in language, but in emotion. Its gravity softened, its storms calmed. The ocean stilled. It welcomed its children home. Not just humans, but the return was not only for humans. Other species, curious and brave, followed the human ships. They walked Earth's new green paths. They listened to the planet's song, and something strange happened. They dreamed. They felt what humans had once felt, that the galaxy could be more than war and rules and walls. It could be wonder, a child and the last tree. Near what used to be the Himalayas, a human child knelt beside the last tree planted by Earth's final generation. It was tall, golden, and glowing. He touched its bark. It glowed back, showing him memories. Oceans rising, cities falling, and the first ship that left Earth. "Did we leave forever?" he asked. His guardian, an old explorer, smiled. "No, we left to become more. And now? Now we return, not to stay, but to remember." The tree's light pulsed once, then spread into the sky, becoming a ribbon of stars across the night. Epilogue. The message for the future years. Later, deep in the archives of the galaxy, a monument was found. It stood alone in the middle of a quiet world. At the center was a single plaque. No guards, no defenses, only this inscription. "To the galaxy that said no, we thank you. Because of you, we looked beyond." The children of Earth keepers of the second dawn.